Hey, hello, fans and freaks, and basically, I want to tell you something. It's not that dumb fan theory. I did that fan theory with slushy for full of lulls. It's actually about my past in this game. Okay, now let's time travel to March of 2021, a little under a year ago. Compared to German soldier or in the rest of the units, I am very new. I vividly remember my first time playing this game back in March, I think. And it was after I was finding all of these rip-offs of Gmod that were very bad, that I would love to show you, that I'm really bad in now, because I used to play one for like a year, and then I dropped it after I found this app, because I do this thing with apps where I drop certain apps that I don't like, and then take the apps for that specific category that I like building. You know what app got favored? Theotown, because I like pixel games and I like building. Put those two together, and I have an indestructible game that I'll almost always click on. While if I want a PvP fighting game plus building, but at a smaller scale and with less limitations, boom. There you go. We have a new build. Basically, when I first started, my name was actually, this is precisely what my name was, because I remembered my name. My name in the first 2 months of the game, I think was this. Like, it was accurately described as this one. Just the name of my old character. This was exactly my name. I literally remember it when I first started. It was literally this. Player 46789183034. My name for the latter half until like 3 months ago. No, not 3 months ago. Like probably like 5 or 4 months ago was like I was named just Shang Lu. I was named that. And my first playthrough, what happened was when I first played, I basically was very bad. Like, the game's controls were a lot better than those other games, and the game I kept for the majority of the time and then dropped it was a game where having the exact same map as the first map of Gmod. You know, the one with the tall building and the JPEG background. This one did not have that JPEG background. It just had the building and that warehouse. But looks like that warehouse doesn't have that hallway. We're just gonna remove it now. But honestly, it's a mobile game, and I feel like that's a good decision. And basically, when I first started, I was really bad, and I also remember like the 10th time I played the game, where I made a house, and then I put a bunch of those oil containers, a bunch of those explosives, as like a trap. And back then, I was really dumb and did not know how the game did anything. Like, now, I'll just hide a bomb inside of a prop and hope for the best. Well, back then, I don't do that. I play very, very, very different back in the past. And I also got killed very often. And then that's when I started training. One time, I went into a server where I got killed repeatedly, and here's how I learned some things. Learning to go underground was very gradual and wasn't like learning how to shoot your gun. Learning how to shoot your gun was an instant thing that just happened one day immediately, while learning how to go underground, it was a hard thing. In the earlier games when the Apocalypse Pack was first introduced, the cars' hitboxes were different, and basically that also meant that the bottom of the back of most of the Apocalypse cars, except that small bug beetle thing, the back of the cars actually has a hitbox where basically where the bottom of it, the hitbox is smaller than the front of the car, leading to sticking it underground, that way being easier and you can go underground. But before the Apocalypse Pack, because before that, it was actually when I was a noob, and this guy who was a SWAT team member, he had the normal SWAT skin. He kept killing me, and he had an underground like a civilization until I got down underground and then killed them, and then I got kicked straight afterwards. And then another time where where a blue robot kept killing me until I eventually just went underground, but he left the game afterwards, and then I left. And then one time I learned how to phase through walls, but then I forgot afterwards. Basically, I like phased through one wall, and then I was like, okay, that was probably a glitch, and then I didn't do it. And then like a month later, I actually learned how to continuously phase through walls, and I was like, oh, so that's how it works. And the first time I met German was, I think, about like 4 months ago was when I met him. No, not even 4 months ago. It was actually like 6 or 7 months ago. I met him in a server by the 7 month mark, and he left immediately, like when I came. And then I met him one time with my other group of friends, like Darkness, and eventually we were friends because we were good at PvP. He played for I think like 3 years, while I played for only a year. But despite that, I just PvP around more often. And eventually, it led to like certain things being changed and certain things being optimized for me. Like basically, it became such an issue back in like the early days where I literally had to just hope for stuff. Now I actually know how to do stuff in the game and interact with the world. But by the way, back then I did not really know how to build either. Building was just something I did for funsies whenever I wasn't getting repeatedly killed. My first build that had 2 floors looked actually it looks like this. This is how my first build of 2 floors accurately looked like. Well, not really completely accurate, but it's the best I can do with my building skills being more sophisticated and with it being a little bit different. I didn't do stairs, I just used this. And honestly, I would probably use this in certain builds before the stair update, or if stairs didn't exist. This is what they look like. This is what the house is. Yeah. Yeah.